Welcome back to another video. My name is Luqman and today we're going to be having a look at the Dubai Hills community, but paying particular interest to the 2E property variants. These are the end units in Maple, so as part of 4 properties together or 2, a semi-detached layout. So what have we seen over the last 13 weeks? Of course, you're going to notice a lot more transactions in this video compared to previous videos, because obviously we're looking at a much longer time frame compared to the the 6 to 8 weeks that we normally do an update video. Happy New Year. Today is the 1st of January when we're recording this video. Hope everyone had an amazing time for the new year. This is always a property type that I'm really interested in because there's so many different factors that will affect the price. Of course, as usual, the place in the community is one of the most important factors, but plot size plays in a big part of what the price should be in terms of for a sale. Having a look at the overview of what's happened in the last 13 weeks, we've seen a total of 17 sales, and they've happened between 3.4 million to 3.9 million. Of course, as I said, plot size, place in the community, and of course, how soon the property is vacant to be either rented at a higher rental value in line with the markets at the moment, because rental values are really great, or for an end user so that they can move in. In terms of rentals, we've seen a total of 51 transactions, and these are new contracts in place. The ones at the lower numbers, close to 200, are going to be individually negotiated deals with current tenants. It's not going to be new contracts. We're seeing most of the new contracts come in between 260, all the way to 330, but normally up to about 280. 330 is going to be an exception to the rule, just one transaction. So let's have a look at some of the back-to-back units first, individually. We've got Maple 1 and 3 in this slide, and then in the next slide we'll go through Maple 2 to show you what's happened in those communities. So we've got this one here. Now this is 565. This is a standard plot size, sold for 3.5 million. 556, just on the opposite side, 3.55 million. And this is about 200 square foot larger than a standard plot. You've got this property here, which is an interesting one because it's between the Maple 1 and 2 border. So you've got a pathway there, and of course, some landscaping as well. Makes it a little bit more desirable, but standard plot size, 3.7 million is what was secured for that. Having a look at this property here, number 304. This is a slightly larger plot, 3,121 square foot. So larger than the standard plot. 3.625 million is what it sold for. Then just jumping onto the third green belt here. This is number 240, and this was sold for the same price. Let's have a look now at Maple 3 before we have a look at Maple 2. You've got this property here, sold at 3.4. Great location. Here, this is displayed as a road, but if you've been to Maple recently and what the community is like, that this is a really beautiful park area. You've got the dog park over here. You've got the cricket nets. You've got the volleyball. You've got a large park area that a lot of people enjoy as part of the community. Probably one of the best locations in Maple. So you've got this property here, very close to that. 3.4 million is what it sold for. Rented till June at 145,000. That's actually a really good price. My understanding is that this property was sold quite a while back. The sale was agreed, and now it's getting to transfer, and it's just transferred. Number 12, of course, you've got a community area just behind the property, so definitely something that's a little bit more desirable. This property sold for 3.58 million, standard plot size, and it's rented till April 23 at 154,000 dirhams. The last property in Maple 3, this is facing towards the Sidra community, facing towards Sidra 3 specifically. This sold at 3.7 million, number 45. Excellent price if you ask me. With the properties that are facing the road, yes, you do get more privacy, but of course, you've got a little bit more noise rather than going for something that's deeper into the community. But that's a standard plot size, a little bit bigger. So we've seen a lot of action in Maple 2. You've got this particular property here. That's a slightly larger plot size at 3,120, sold for 3.625 million. And this is just on the other side of that Maple 1 and 2 border that I was speaking to you about. Next property up here, a back-to-back one, 3.8 million. Now this property is a little bit more special because it's got a much larger plot size, 4,573 square foot, because it's literally just on that corner there. That was sold for 3.8 million. So great price, great property for sure. Let's now have a look at these three properties. This is on the third greenbelt and then the fourth greenbelt here. So 3.61 million is what that one sold for, number 245, rented till February 23, and that was rented at 125,000 until that date. So with the direct comparison, we've got this one here, sold at 3.9, and we've got 329, which sold for 3.55 million. It's slightly bigger, a larger plot size than normal, and this was a vacant unit where it now is, and it's been re-rented. This is a property I sold myself, definitely a fantastic deal, but this property was towards the start of those 13 weeks when it transferred. So this property was actually, you know, the sale was agreed many months before, so this would reflect in the price. This one here, 3.61, vacant unit, road backing, facing towards Hydra 2, and then you've got this property here, which backs onto whatever this area will be. There is a pathway between. The only thing that I'm going to say that these properties are really great for is because you've got this park here, so between the Maple 2 and 3 border. But of course, with this being unknown, it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what happens there. So this one sold at 3.4, standard plot size. September 23 is when it's rented till, and that's rented at 160,000. So that concludes things from a 2E perspective, the 4-bedroom end units. Of course, we've had some more transactions come in towards the end of the year. As we enter 2013, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. Of course, America have announced interest rates rising by 0.5%. So we're all waiting to see what happens from the UAE perspective. And of course, you know, as we have gone through the last 2 to 3 weeks being a little bit more quiet, of course, as people have left Dubai to go on holidays, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the markets. Are these interest rates going to be affecting what people are willing to spend? Of course, their borrowing is going to be affected, given that, you know, they're stress testing some of these mortgages at much higher rates, just to make sure people have got the affordability there to be able to carry on with payments. But thank you very much for watching the video. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. I've recently started to do walkthrough videos of specific properties, and I'll keep you up to date about what's happening in the Dubai Hills community as a whole. If you do have any specific questions about Dubai Hills or this particular video, you can go into the description below, and my WhatsApp telephone number is there. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.